Hello, welcome to Quasimorph again. This is the preparation for the new beta, which means we'll have a new version of the game, 0.9.5 soon. I think it will be called United We Stand, and it's another big update, and that's why I want to cover it, and I want to also kind of be prepared for the endgame when that update hits in a few weeks, I think. That will be new in the big update, coming soon to the beta as well, so we'll see it sooner on the beta if you want to experience it sooner. New Magnum departments. The augmentation department, we can craft augments and implants, which means, well, if you have the licenses, I guess that means we need to find the chips and then we can craft them ourselves in the ship, which is one of the things I really wanted because it was so prohibitive to make a character with cybernetics, because if you lost the character, then you had to get all of those cybernetics yet again from zero, and it didn't really make for fun experimenting, because if you lost it, it was a huge hit to your abilities. We also have another department, the management department. It says we can take out a rival CEO, meaning we can take a corporation, claim that chair, and steer a minor corporation yourself. I guess this will be a mission, or I'm not sure how this will be. It says we can speed up production, not sure what production, and bring corporate allies on missions, and even change your corporation's type. I think they'll allow us to control our own corporation, which is something people have been asking for a very long time, because it's hard to get all of the equipment and all of the materials and all of the other stuff just by playing missions, because trading is not really an option in the game. Also have random events coming to the beta, and some of them they say on mission floor events, spider-nest, wedding cocoons, hunter squads from factions you've angered, levels lacking key resources, pirate or police raids, or even orca uprisings. Interesting. And in orbit you can discover hidden bases and trade shuttles ripe for looting. Factions that like you might occasionally send gifts as well. So basically events in the mission itself, which will be either gifts or make the mission harder, or in the orbit where you'll just find stuff, or you might get even attacked. And they don't mention your ship getting attacked over here, but it's something that we wanted to implement for a long time. So space will no longer be as safe as it used to be, but you'll also get some gifts, I guess. New story missions, and this will conclude the civil resistance arc, which I don't care. Who cares about the stupid solo missions? I might be a little harsh over here, but come on. The missions themselves are made in such a bad way that nobody really cares about them, and even if you care, they're not worth doing, because the story missions are the hardest missions in the game. They're not balanced, they're not fun, they don't really give you a lot of rewards. Some of them give you good rewards, but they're not worth doing, and that's a problem. Plus they're time limited, so you have to do them until a certain amount of time has passed, or they just disappear. And I think that's a stupid way to do story missions, because unless you find a way to integrate them into the game, it's something separate from the game itself, and I don't think a lot of people like them. Maybe just make the missions infinite, maybe just mark them as such, and also mark them as hardest possible. Instead of 5 skulls, make them 6 skulls. That would be a change. Also will add new environments, and have a new Bramfatura, Flauros, and the Hexarch Tianming. Hexarch is just a top corporation, if you remember, so that means the top corporation will bring its new technology and some other stuff, so that will be fun to see. Bramfatura is just a new demon factions, which just looks like demons with big horns. And they'll be on Jupiter. Now Jupiter is safe and the planet's moons, but it's very far away, so we'll not really get a chance to go to Jupiter anyway. UI overhaul. It is really needed. Basically the UI overhaul will tell you more information about armor, weapons, and some other stuff. It is really needed because the current UI doesn't tell you much. Weapon and armor reworks in the balance. Weapon and armor and balance will be reworked. So we'll have explosive weapons and some other stuff, but they say weapon traits are no longer tied to the weapon class, and they'll be modular. So that means you can, for example, have the example they give over here is a heavy weapon can be applied to all weapons, meaning it can be a laser, it can be a sniper rifle, it can be a rocket launcher. And heavy weapon means you cannot attack if the clone moved this turn, which is interesting. The idea. If a weapon has an optical sight, again, it doesn't matter what type it is, it can be a pistol, a rifle, or whatever they wanted. It shifts a weapon's optimal range. Optimal range is the range you are most likely to hit the enemy at, but again, some of this stuff is not really well explained, so that means we'll have even harder to use weapons, more or less, but more harder to use, but more efficient weapons. Because the weapon sets have been adjusted to accommodate the new traits and widen player options. And we'll be also able to change attacks and weapon damage of, let's say, melee weapons. They give an example over here with the Toxic Knife, which has the option to pierce with penetrating damage or strike with poison. Armor has been rebalanced too, so armor will depend more on armor type and tech tier. And it will be more obvious what the differences are between heavy and light armor. Repair materials have been reviewed and redistributed. And also over here we have a few grenade launchers, RPG launchers, a pistol that probably shoots explosive, SMG with explosives, a power sword, which is definitely not a power sword, but it's a power sword. Some other stuff. So in the beta test we have several of these changes, and also they added new enemies like a forklift, demonic dogs, drones, and some other stuff. So let's begin. So the patch is slated to hit the stable branch in the second half of July, so that means in 1 month, but I assume the full patch will go live in a few weeks, so that's why I'm playing from now. Delete the game. Sadly, there are no mentions about balancing unfair. Well, if you don't know what unfair is, let me show you what unfair means. Unfair is just unfair because it's supposed to be unfair. If you're playing on unfair, the enemies will have one extra action point, which is disastrous because enemies will be able to shoot you 3 times in some cases, or hit you 3 times, or in some cases you'll have enemies breathing down your neck in a single turn, which, I don't know, the developers should really balance the difficulty. It's not about making the game unplayable, it should be about making the game fun to play, so we'll still play on normal.
The history of humanity is
Blood
written in
tear.
tears.
Yeah. I heard that a lot of times. Okay, we'll do the training as well because I want to see if they change something. Need to clear the Magnum. Okay, so we are in our room. Take a soda or a snack. Apparently you can punch through doors. Interesting, I didn't realize that. I never tried it. Let's go into the med bay and then we'll go to other floors. I'm curious if we can keep all of the loot. I think you can, but... Ouch, we broke our leg. Serpent. SPN, okay. Oh, I don't remember this, I guess that's the cloning bats. What is that about using control? I don't know. Oh, that's the the boarding vessel they used to get to us. Well, let's put the hat on. It will make us look cooler. So, oh wow, the new UI is new, I guess. Drag plastic rubber. I guess this is all of the stuff that repairs the thing. It's like there's a small UI issue right now because it doesn't clearly show you what the armor values are. So this is Cloth. If you press Alt, you can see the stats better. Cloth, Ordinary, Tech level 1. Have Blunt, and which is also Explosion. Here's Plasma. Entropy Resist. What is Entropy? I don't remember Entropy. Yes, I think I prefer the old UI when I was looking at the armors because it was better explained. I cannot really understand what's going on here. So if it's the same, it will not show any changes. Okay. Just symbol. I shouldn't have disassembled the shotgun shells, but it's okay. Don't be alarmed. Just other clones. This concentrated form or dispersed. Oh. This it will have more shatter. Not more shatter, more dispersion. Shatter, not. I guess it's clearly noted that some of this will be a backup gun. 9mm bullets. Why? Wow, why do they have such a big critical chance now? Knockback and knockdown. I never seen knockback. I mean knockdown. It's not bad. You can clearly see what each gun does now. Let me guess. Range accuracy. Oh, wow. The range accuracy. It's so bad for some guns. Okay. I guess I'm just testing some things out before going to the full game. Self-loading. So yeah, as you can see, it's much better displayed the stats of the guns, and I guess the guns themselves are kind of rebalanced. Since it's more clear what their stats are and how they increase versus, I don't know, why do you need to compare guns? Because most of the times you'll be comparing I don't know, a heavy machine gun with a laser pistol, so it's not going to work like that. That Harvard. Interesting. So they did make some improvements to some of the systems. Increase heal chance. I don't remember that being a thing for that. So this increases the heal chance, and this is just says it has a heal chance of what? Why does it show stats or armor behind it? I don't know. I guess it's showing me what it... I don't know. I don't understand. Let's not think too much about it. Okay, let's take the ammo. Yeah, the problems of the game, not having enough face. Kind of like the, yeah, I kind of miss the artwork of the game. I like it. Okay. So this was the armory. I guess they no longer give you a lot of cool items as they did. Well, I don't have... Oh, it says ally. Interesting. I don't remember that being a thing. Strike accuracy and range accuracy. What does it have strike accuracy? What will it do? It hit everyone there with his gun muzzle or what? I think that's the total resistances, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Super heavy ammunition. Well, I want to take this as well with me. Yes. I am afraid. I like those voice lines. The world is about to change, and they get shot.
No one will grant us deliverance.
You at the bridge. I guess you get to keep whatever you get from that mission, but nah, you cannot loot. Okay, I guess that's fair in a way. Oh, apparently you get more items overall. Yeah, I don't remember you getting so many things, especially a taiga. Interesting. So let me remember where I put stuff. Don't worry, we'll play a lot more of the game. Now this is just to see what's new. So the good tech will be on 4, the meh will be on 3. Okay, so do we have the new thingies? I don't think we have the new... Oh no, we have them, look at that. Tian Ming. Which is supposed to be Sulu from Star Trek. Meh. I kind of dislike how everything is a joke to the developers. I hope they will just create unique characters. To expand. What does this faction have? Well, wait. Before I do that, I just want to look at Hexarch, Corporation Independence. So I guess the whole premise of the game when it's fully released will be for us to fight the Hexarchy or join the Hexarchy. Join the smaller corporations, fight the smaller corporations, or join Ted's clan. Like that will be an option as well. So they have a Sharon, which is a saw blade thrower. Oh boy, goody. 160mm disc. Well, you know that saw blade thrower that everyone was complaining about when the game was released? Now you have a handheld version of it. Does a ton of damage, has good range. The problem will be Oh, I guess it has a very low. It's a single reload. It repairs with. Okay, it's kind of interesting how they did it. You press Alt, you see the other stuff. Amputates, patient, pierce through. And it shows you the damage and everything else. Okay, so that's much better, I guess. Handao. Cannot be thrown unwieldy. What is unwieldy? When you attack once and then you have... And then... Mark. Random mercenary. What does it have a plus? Ricochet. Okay. So some things are better explained. That's May armor. What is even that supposed to be? Is it a placeholder? I don't know. Things like this is a shotgun, but we unlock heavy ammo. That's definitely something that throws explosive ammunition. Yeah, these are placeholders for guns from what I can see. Why do you get such a tiny pistol at 7? Is this the power frame armor? I don't remember. Phobos orbit. You mean Tianming is over here as well? They start with 11 properties? That's a bit too much if you ask me. Wait, did they change with how many properties? No. I don't think they changed it, but it's because we have more planets that it seems like they start with more, but some of these things will be super out of the way anyway. So like usual, we'll fight... I think that's placeholder. We'll fight against the Hexarchy. Which is also fighting against these guys, I think. Did they change anything else for the other factions? I don't think so. Maybe I'll try to be allies with these guys for a while at least. Seems like they like shotguns and some other stuff. Okay, we'll be subscribing to them. Planet Bridge, they're not as good as they used to be. Okay, let's be their friends as well. Wow, are you joking me? So you're telling me that the Church of Revelations gets the... I think this is the plasma, or I don't know, the laser shotgun, the jackhammer, the vest. And then at 4 they get even bigger guns? That looks like a hand grenade. Okay, so I guess this is placeholder more or less until they figure this out, but it seems to me like the factions will gain more stuff faster, so they'll be more competitive and you have access to better stuff sooner, but the problem will be that if you're fighting so many strong units, how are you supposed to even win against them? Yeah, look at this. They just get all of their gear at tech free almost. Oh, and I never really got to use this gun until now. That's such a shame. Some of the factions are more or less the same, but some of the factions get their gear much sooner, which is going to be a problem. Are you joking me? They get this gun so early. This is such a destructive weapon. And they still get their lightning gun at tier 4, but I guess they don't get the rifle until 7, which is good, I guess. I don't remember all of the changes, but I can definitely see they have rebalanced most of this stuff. I'm not sure if this will remain as it is. I don't like the cowboys, to be honest. They get RPG. Can we get an armor piece? If resistance gets their people's front armor at 4. And they get the bison. They get a lot more weapons quickly, I guess. The heavy machine gun, or I guess it's a light machine gun. Game. I guess it's not as fun as it used to be. What about the Sunlight Coven? Well, this is where they get the power sword. This is one of the newer items. Not sure what that is. They also get their own RPG. That ammo. Oh, that armor looks cool. I don't remember it. I don't like them. They're weird. The prison guard faction, man, they're so weak and they don't get much. So they still have to balance some of this stuff out because some factions just get too much, some factions get nothing at all. I don't remember this weapon. So who are my allies, to be honest? I don't like French Comte because they're kind of weak. And they'll not have a chance to win against the Hexarchy either, but I'll have to join them if they are fighting against the Hexarchy, so it doesn't really matter if I subscribe to them or not. This looks like it's a super powerful gun that you get early on. I don't understand why they're raising the amount of the Hexarchy corporations, because they work with each other more or less. So it's kind of an annoying thing that you have more Hexarchies than smaller corporations. Still, there is also Exarch. Enemies of Anarchy. They're not really the good guys either. I don't know what to think about this. These are some interesting changes, but a bit weird. Why are they making the top corporations in a way stronger by introducing more Hexarchy? I don't want to join any Hexarch, so we'll continue. No, unsubscribing from you. I don't want to help them in Conquest either. 3 floors. I guess they show you the remaining time, 36,000 days, which is about what, 6 years? Nah, more than that, 10 years. So you have a 10-year limit. This map is a little different as well, but I cannot put my hand on the changes. I still have a lot of stuff to add, but the problem with this was always the travel. What missions do we have on Mars? SBN defense. This is also weird. I mean, you shouldn't start the game and corporation shouldn't be conquesting anything. So it's a bit of a weird balancing thing. I think they have to look at this again. I don't think they should start any conquest missions until probably 3 months or something like that into the game, because it's too early for you to take part in conquest missions and they're going to be so hard you cannot really do much in them or against them. So the victim will be core ward. I guess I can infiltrate, but that's going to be a much harder mission. Conquest is 3 floors to skulls. I guess that would be manageable, but no, I don't want to help them conquer anything. On the other hand, I hate defense missions almost as much because they're so hard and annoying. See, this is the problem. If they're going on a conquest, you either have to help them and the conquest missions can be too hard, but the defense missions are way harder as well. This is so annoying. I wish there was a restart button because this is not acceptable in my opinion. You know what? Let's restart. Normal.
The history of humanity.
Yeah, that was such a bad start. I mean, why were they all conquering stuff and robbery. Okay, this is kind of a cheesy way of starting it, but they really need to fix that stuff.
The history of
The
humanity is written.
history. I recommend you do this as well, because there's no point in starting a game that is almost already lost. Also, why are you not getting any missions on your starting location? This is ridiculous. The developers need to look at all of all of these things, not
The
just
history of
randomize everything to no limit. I guess we have only one mission here now. So let's do this a couple of more times. I want to see if we can actually... I pressed the wrong part of the thing. I want to see if we can really make some difference.
the history of humanity.
Maybe get 3 or 4 missions near Mars. No. Game says no. Yeah, this is annoying. Well, I think I need about
history
4
of
missions
humanity
on
is
Mars
written
and
in-
nearby planets to actually have a good start. And okay, so you can actually modify your starting game to be much better, so let's do that right now. I'm not afraid of playing the game
The
with
history
demons
of
or
humanity
Quasimorphs,
is-
but the problem is I don't want to struggle, well, not really struggle out in the beginning. I want to have a better start so I can see more of the things that are in the game. I guess I want to do this one. Touch of Revelation. What is a control mission? I'm almost afraid to ask. You know what, let's do the control mission. How bad can it be, right?
Confirm search and go.
It's only one floor.
For the orbit. Roger. In.
Hmm. Percy? Percy's back. Did they change anything for Percy? I don't think so. Weapon range, okay. Health is still 120. I guess... Oh, range accuracy is 35. Oh, 40. 5 for Victoria. Interesting. Scouts of Hades. I didn't have time to look at this, but I'll just assume they're more or less the same. I guess it's recommended to do the tutorial because you get some extra stuff. Secret data. I guess you only get one backpack. You don't get more. Need that. And you don't have antibiotics. Great. You just have to take all of the medicine, all of the possible healing. So you definitely do the stupid tutorial because you get the med kit. I don't think I need a secondary weapon, do I? Yeah, probably not. Put that over there. I think this is what we have to work with. This is what we can work with. So, armor plate, it's medium armor, it's tech level 2, it's still ordinary. Okay, 47 is 50%. I think it will get much better than this. Control. Okay, protect the equipment. I think this is one of those missions I always hated, so let's do it. I think this is the mission type where you just have to go into the location, protect what you have to protect, and then leave. Well, I don't think they can come from another direction. What have they done to the Taiga? This is because it's out of range. Okay, that was it. Sure. Now, I guess I have to be careful not to have too much weight on my character. We don't go with negative dodge chance. Heavy, I cannot afford to take it. So wait, oh man, this mission is so weird. Can I just zoom the map and it will be free of enemies until I get to the control point? I think this is how it's going to work. So, if I just decide to put everything I own on the floor, it will be better, right? That barely changed anything. Okay, whatever. Play like this. I guess I can defend over there. Oh, that scared me. Don't do that, game. That was... What does that sound? It's such a weird noise. It's so much louder than the other noises. It's louder than a gunshot, man.
Just begin to leave and again.
Why did I accidentally... Rough. Woof woof. I guess they're good stakes. You know. This is just tempting to get all of the guns. Okay, let's look at the armors. Going to be definitely a little better. Composite rubber, I guess it's plastic. Shows you a lot more stuff. It's tech tier 3. Very interesting. Water container. Well, we'll need all of the plastics we can get. We're also going to need the... I hate this beginning part of the game where you just need everything and cannot store anything. Why are they giving me the best loot in the game right now? Okay, I'll die with it. I think I'll die with it. I could really use some armor, some better stuff. Okay, put everything on the floor. Since this is the meta. This will be annoying. How can you manage such a big weight? Minus 4%. So what am I supposed to do? Just press space until the enemy opens the doors and shoot me by accident? Is the answer to this question always be yes? I guess why not? Riveting gameplay, I know. Okay, the loot in this mission was 100% worth it. I would say it was even a bit too much. I mean, this is all very rare stuff and I just got it in the first mission. To be honest, I cannot release it right now because it's for the end game. I take this as well. Caviar. Okay, so I don't need anything. Let's go back to the shuttle. Yeah, that was a good first mission, to be honest. It's a bit cheesy, but I guess if you can reroll the missions until you get the one... I guess control missions seems like they are the best if you can get them early enough. Great break. So this is all of the rare stuff I obtained from the first mission. It's a bit insane, I would say. Yeah, let's look at the spacecraft. Make the conveyor. Okay, wait a minute. Did anything change over here? Conveyor belts. No, everything seems to be the same. Med kits, we can craft repair kits. It's like it's the same. I need some hydrogel bandages. It's kind of weird we cannot craft water on the ship, to be honest, because it's such a useful item. So you're supposed to steal water from every location you go. $20. That's supply, that's cloning. Did they change anything over there? Hangar. Yeah, we'll look at this closer next time. So they still haven't implemented that. Engineering and navigation. So yeah, I guess they haven't implemented the new stuff yet, the new departments. Magnum. Okay, we'll see next time what we can do. It was actually pretty fun coming back to the game. I will play it a little slower and I have to think of other ways of surviving. It's like the problem is always going to be the same. How do you even get the weight capacity? I guess they wanted to make pistols more competitive. How are you supposed to get such a low weight? Because even if you don't wear armor, even if you use only a pistol, let's say, your weight will always be around 10 kilograms, which is lowering your dodge chance by 20%. I guess there's nothing we can do about that, and we'll just have to play the game as it is and change the class to have that gallant self-loading name. Okay, it's actually much easier to understand what you're unlocking now. Yeah, I'll have to do a lot of preparation, and next time we'll do another mission. I'll have to also change his skill, Percy's skill, because it seems like it's almost useless now that his ultimate ability. Although resist plus 12 seems like it's overrated, because if you are heavy, you'll get hit either way, and armor doesn't help at all if you get hit a lot. So I'll have to replace this with Yuki's ability, which means weight will no longer influence dodge as much, which seems like is the only way to play the game, to be honest, because otherwise you'll just be killed by random nonsense because you'll try to loot before you end the mission. Otherwise I'll just have to loot after I finish the mission, which is just as annoying as it sounds. Going through the level 2 times. Yeah, okay, that was fun. See you next time. Bye bye.